Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I fillet my fish. Let's get into it. I always use two different types of knives. A nice, flexible, very sharp knife for the actual filleting, and then a smaller and more stiff knife for gutting and cutting through the bones. You need some paper towel to wipe off the fish and your knives, and a nice clean tray for the fish. I think it's really important that you use a paper towel or cloth and that you work as clean as you can and keep the fish nice and clean, so you wipe off any excess slime, scale, gunk, whatever. It just makes the fish so much nicer and more tasty. So my fish is here. I always keep the fish that I take home on ice. It just makes the fish a lot tastier, keeps it nice and cool, but I really think it improves the quality and the taste of the fish that you take home. So today we're filleting a sea trout, and then I have some garfish also. I got 4 nice garfish. I'm starting with the trout. I already scaled the fish with a knife. I always do that at the spot because scaling a fish can get a little bit messy, and it's nice not to deal with that at home. But yeah, rinse off the fish, and then I'm gonna cut it from its bunghole all the way to its gill. Get all the guts out. And fish is open, and we just rip out the guts. Oh, forgot to do a little disclaimer about this being a little grisly. Let's see what it's been eating. Small fish and the shrimp. A lot of shrimp actually. Look. Rinse off the fish. Wash it out on the inside. If you wanted to do the fish whole, it's really important that you sort of get in this bit and make this all clean. But I'm filleting the fish, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna take it off afterwards. The fish is clean. You could fry this whole, put it in the oven, bake it, whatever. But now we're gonna take the fillets off. Wipe it down. Make it nice. I'm gonna cut the fish like this, behind the gill, all the way to its head. Flip the fish and do the same thing on the other side, like that. Now I'm going to cut it all the way along its backbone on both sides. Wow, I cut through the pin bones all the way to the rib cage, like that. Yeah. I flip the fish and I do the other side. This just makes the whole thing easier, because if you were to do this, once you get the one fillet off, the fish is really hard to handle. Okay. And then I just go through the rib cage all the way to the tail. Bang. Whoop. Come on. Whoop. Bang. That's one fillet. Beautiful looking sea trout. Flip the fish and repeat. And I don't really worry about it, how pretty it is. I'm gonna trim up the fillet afterwards. Put this aside, and then I take off the ribs, the rib bones, like this. Whoop. Trim this bit off here as well. That's a nice fillet. Now trout, they have these pin bones along the fillet here, and I haven't really found a good way to get rid of those. I know with salmon you could use a tweezer to pluck them out, but I've tried it a couple of times on trout and I don't think it's really work. It never really works for me. So I just cut them out like this, very carefully, trying not to waste too much meat doing it. Cut them out like this. Here we are. Sea trout fillet, no bones, ready to serve. Just repeat it with the other side. And then once you're done, I always take the frame of the fish and I cut off any bits of meat that I can. The sea trout is done. I got the colors of the sea trout and 2 nice fillets. I'll just put them like this for now and we can get into the garfish. And these trimmings I'm gonna save and feed them to the dog. He's probably gonna show up in a bit once he figures out that I'm filleting fish. So yeah, let's do a garfish next. Nice garfish here. Amazing creatures. They're so tasty. Got the guts out of this guy. And I'll take the head off. Wait. Rinse it. It would actually be good to go with this. You could just cut it into pieces and fry it in the pan. I know a lot of people do that. Same thing as with the trout. If you wanna eat it whole, you should actually be mindful that you sort of get all the gunk out along its spine here. See all this stuff here. But when you filleting the fish, taking out all the bones, I don't really care because you're gonna cut that bit out anyways. Try to wipe the fish down, get rid of any excess scales or slimes. Basically try to be as clean as possible, especially with garfish because they are a little bit slimy and gunky. You're just gonna do yourself a favor and get a more delicious piece of fish out of it. Well, this is my technique for filleting garfish. I know there's probably tons of other ways to do it, but this one is the one that I find the easiest. I cut them into 3 pieces like this. It's a lot easier to handle than the whole fish. Same thing, cut down the backbone, but garfish, they have these really, they have sort of like 2 sets of ribs. They have the backbone, vertical like this, then a horizontal sort of rib cage, and then another rib cage like this. Like any other fish, cut down, and then you turn your knife so you cut the pin bones, or I don't know what these bones are called, Y bones, and they go all the way to the skin. So I'll show you. I'll do like that, and then very carefully I try to get my knife around the bones, on the underside of the bones, and this part is a little bit tricky, but there we are. And then, like the trout, I just try to cut through the rib bone like that. Now you have your fillet, and you can take off the rib cage just very carefully, trying not to waste too much meat. Whoop. There's a piece of boneless, delicious garfish. These you can just, I normally just bread them in panko breadcrumbs, or just toss them in flour and just fry them in the frying pan. But you can throw them on the barbecue, you can put them in the smoker, you can do whatever. And the skin is really tasty as well once it gets crispy. So this one is ready to eat. And now you just repeat that process with the rest of the fish and you're good to go. Oh. All right. That's it. That's my filleting video. We are all done. That's one garfish. I still have 3 left though, but I won't show you that. But I am by no means an expert fish filleter. This is just my way of doing it. And hopefully, if you don't know how to fillet a fish, you can learn something from it. Oh, look who showed up. Er det lækkert? Sushi time. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and catch you on the next video.